Hi, Gloria Lybecker here with Healing You. Do you notice the patterns of your life? What are the patterns that drive your experiences, your motivation, your inspiration? Or what do you do just unconsciously? We all have different patterns that we have developed unconsciously. And those unconscious patterns are what drive our behavior. What's really cool is when you've slowed down in your inner world to begin to notice what patterns you're having, to be curious about them and see whether they're really serving your life or not. Because unless we can notice the pattern, it will never change. It will just get more deeply embedded. So some of us, when we were little, we experienced being shamed when we spoke up. Maybe by a teacher, a parent, other kids. And unconsciously, when that shame experience happened, it was so painful that a part of us might have made the unconscious contract of, I will never speak up again. And so then we have this experience of maybe there's something we'd want to say, but we automatically don't speak up. It's just what we do. Others of us may have had experiences where we were bullied, bullied pretty severely as well. And so I don't know, this is a different one because some of us, if we were bullied, we want to shrink and get really small and diminish ourselves so we can't be seen, so we can't get bullied again. Maybe we want to make a contract within ourselves to be invisible. And then there's others of us that when we were bullied, we decided we were going to fight back. And we worked really hard to develop ourselves. And so we may have made some kind of a contract that's more like, I will never be beaten again. I will never back down. And then some of us can end up becoming a bully ourselves without even having awareness of what we have created within ourselves. And then there's others of us that we just watch the world silently from the sidelines. We don't engage. We don't speak up. And we may have an unconscious contract about I will stay silent so that I'm not seen, so nobody engages with me. And maybe that experience was something where we just didn't have people engage with us. We just watched from the sidelines and tried to figure out what we were going to do. And we didn't have anyone to interact with, to engage with, to even discover that pattern until much later. That could be caused by neglect, where people just didn't even check in on you, didn't encourage you to communicate in any way. And what each of these different experiences have in common is they have each laid down really active patterns of behavior that it guides our behavior. And that's what our system uses to make decisions in our lives. And we don't realize that a lot of these decisions are being made unconsciously until we can have an experience of attuned resonance with another being. With somebody, another way of saying that would be we get to have an experience engaging with somebody that's awakened, somebody that has developed a sense of self and can read the nuanced patterns of energy and information flow in relationships with others. And they're able to have precision and gentleness, and they check in for consent. So one of the key things is they check in with other people. They really listen with their whole heart, not just their mind. They listen with their body. And when you have an experience where you get to engage with somebody on that level, it starts to release the unconscious contracts they start to dissolve and become less entangled. You can actually begin to sense life in a different way. And what we get to do is we get to make sense through those experiences. And we get to lay down new neural patterns. And those new neural fibers and connections, they sync up then with our prefrontal cortex, which is our seat of creativity, where we really can be socially engaged and present. And it calms down our nervous system from the fight and flight or freeze reactions that we can have. And we begin to then grow our own inner resonating witness that's with us wherever we go. So in order to have an experience like this, it's so helpful to have others accompany you on your journey so you can practice developing new skill sets, so you can continue to thicken those new pathways that are growing within you, creating resiliency in the face of stress. It's rather astonishing to recognize that you don't need to stay silent. You don't need to be blind and not hear things. It makes me think of those 3 monkeys. But you can stay present and open, and you get to have the freedom to be who you are, the freedom to be who you were created to be in our world. I know this has been the path in my life. As a child, I was very quiet. I was very shy. I didn't want to take up space. When I was with children and animals, then I would light up and I would become who I really am. But when I was around most humans, I would diminish and I would get small because of the trauma patterns that were in my neural fibers. And yet, I am living proof that healing is possible. Because now I do speak up. I actually make videos and I share my life story in order to support people to recognize themselves, to support people to recognize that it's possible to heal and that there are others that will recognize them and welcome them and walk alongside of them. If you're ready for that journey and you'd like some accompaniment, reach out to me at healingyoursanctuary.com. Click on the links there and we'll make connection. Thanks for being on the journey with me today. Healing you.